Yo, what's up? What's up, you homos? You queers? It's Pride Month, bitches. So, of course, we had to do a tier list. You know, it's gay month. It's one of the biggest months of the year. Everybody knows it's gay month. So we're doing a little tier list, and I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, this is Coleman ragging on the gays. Well, no. And we're throwing some people in the mix who aren't generally associated with this group, who may in fact be a little suspect. We're mixing it up. We're throwing different things in the mix. We're gonna see what happens. But anyways, let's get started. First person on the list, lovely Joe Rogan. Hot bod, masculine, definitely not gay, Joe Rogan. I think I'll see, and okay. It actually would have been fun to rank this on gayness. Should we rank this on gayness? That's an interesting theory. Should we rank it? What do you think, chat? Should we rank it on gayness? Or rank it on how we usually do it? Because here's the thing. That's kind of how we always do it. Just kind of the general ranking, right? But not all gay people are the same. Some people are very effeminate. Some people are very, pseudo-closeted. Like, oh shit, I would have never realized you were gay. You are normal. You are more normal than I thought you would have been. Fuck it. Let's do it based on how gay they are. Closeted or otherwise. How truly gay we think that this person is. We're going to do it like that. I'm making a decision, executive decision. We're going to blow forward. Joe Rogan, A tier, 100%. I think this man is a closet homosexual, 100%. He's in his late stage gay phase. He married someone when he was young and got bored with it. Made a lot of money later. His little, his curiosities, his femininity got the best of him. And now he has gay sex with Tim Dillon and Post Malone. And potentially others. And, that's fine. That's fine. Just come on, say it. Come on. Let us know. Let us know, Joe. Let us know that you're just come out, man. There would be so many people supporting you, man. So many people would support you. Just tell them you're gay. Let's watch. I wanted to watch a couple different clips today.
Might be not.
Really, because I want to prove. I want to give evidence. Because there are people who are on this list who haven't officially come out yet, and I want to be able to give what I think is evidence to show that these people are gay. And now Rogan is at this point, it's been widely speculated that this man's secretly gay. And I get what people say, where he's just making jokes, but there's some things where it's you can make a joke about being gay, but it's the only way that you could really come up with that joke is if you had the mind of a gay person. You know what I mean? Or at the very least, a very perverted person. Which is a step in the gayness. Let's be real. So let's play a couple.
No, Yoel's. I bet it's bigger.
There was a bigger compilation of Rogan clips, and basically I took it upon myself to edit it down because it was like a 20-minute clip. But anyways, that's what this is.
Bet it's
No,
bigger.
bro. He doesn't
I
carry
bet it's
that energy.
bigger.
He's too aggressive.
What?
Yeah, when you're that aggressive, you don't have that fat of
There's
a
no
dick.
way he looks like that and doesn't have a big dick.
I don't know, dude. See,
That
Batman,
kind of build?
Batman the comic drew a dick, and that's Batman.
But it is an ingredient in bull semen.
Okay.
So the taurine in Red Bull probably doesn't come from bull semen, but taurine is in bull semen.
Okay.
So Hitler was getting his taurine right from the tap.
From the
You think he
source.
just sucked the bull's dick? The best way is to suck upon it.
Suck the dick.
You get it from the tap when it is fresh. It is 700% more potent. The Fuhrer just gets down there. They hold the bull back with straps and buckles. It's kicking. And Hitler gets his sloppy Nazi mouth right over that fat bull hog. And that is apparently the origin of that upper lip mustache. That upper lip mustache was to catch all the succulent drops when he's choking on jizz.
The flavor savor.
And that giant bull dick is pummeling the back of his throat and fills it up. That when he comes out of his nose, because a lot of the jizz comes out of his nose, that's just enough mustache to catch the jizz. So that's why he had that mustache. A lot of people don't know. Dude, the guy.
Totally not gay. It's fine if he is. You know, I will say this was like the time where Rogan was actually funny. Like, I don't think he's a very good comedian. Like on stage, I just don't think he does a very good job. Which, for how long he's been doing it, is just, it's like, okay. Like, I just don't think he's that funny. But, like, on a podcast, he's very funny. Like, Dave Smith is kind of the same way. Like, I don't think Dave Smith's stand-up is necessarily really funny, but, like, he's pretty funny on a podcast. He makes good jokes. He has good banter. Like, there's a difference. I feel like there's a different skill being funny on a podcast and in conversation versus, like, presenting yourself on stage. But anyways, let's keep playing this.
Guy's got a big hog. He's a very well-built gentleman, all around, very muscular and handsome with a large hog. Put the photo up.
Yeah, put the photo up right now.
There's a Vice article about everything you ever wanted to know about penis tattoos, and it talks about a guy has 14 stripes to make it look like a snake.
That's cool. Let me
Like,
see.
He doesn't have a picture in the article.
Let me
and-
tell you what this is.
This is how I go to see
know.
dicks. It's for science.
Let me see it. Let me just see
I don't
it.
care really about dicks, but I just want to make sure this is true and you're not lying.
I will.
If you're really, really dumb, a super smart gay guy could talk you into blowing them. I think there's gay dudes, and then there's really gullible straight dudes who get talked into blowing crafty gay dudes.
Damn.
But what costs more, getting fucked or fucking someone? Because if you fuck someone, you got to get it up.
Can you text
if
him
you're
and
so
ask him?
hard that you don't, I don't care if you fuck me. Go ahead. I don't think you should get fucked by a guy unless you're gay. But if you weren't gay, getting fucked by
hard
a
to get
guy
up.
might be easier.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because how you gonna get it up?
Right,
Yeah.
you got to get it up.
Open that
and then
ass.
You gotta think
And
about
then
what
people
you're
say,
doing.
dude, you had a hard dick. You had a hard dick. You could always
Yes.
say, my dick was
Yes.
soft. He fucked me in the ass. I had to do
Yeah,
it.
I had to do
Yeah,
it.
I know
just-
if- I know
I don't
if-
give a fuck. Go ahead, fuck. You want to fuck my shit? Shoot. Go ahead, bro.
Shit. You know, weird story. I remember one time I saw a porno. I saw this porno. And the girl was like, you know, put it in my shithole. And he was like, don't say that. Which I get, you know, when you're in that when you're in that situation, the last thing you want to think about is getting shit on your dick. And it happens, you know. I think one of the milestones of becoming an adult is being able to, you know, to do anal with someone else. I mean, in my case, I'm not receiving the anal. I'm you know, the other way around. But if I was, fine. But you know, there's something about being adult where it's like, that kind of comes with the territory, right? It's not like the porno where there's never any shit. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit in the ass play. Just saying. Okay, Dave Smith. We're gonna put him in the. Let's go ahead and put him in C tier. Now remember, this is we're ranking this on gayness. Actually, let's put him in B tier. We're gonna rank him on gayness, and there's a couple things about this. One, apparently, and this is not confirmed. Of course, he wouldn't confirm this, but apparently there's a story where Dave Smith back in the day fucked a tranny. And I know that's not politically correct, but that is verbatim how it was told to me. So that's how we're gonna go about it. But that happened. He doesn't like talking about it because he's a straight man with a wife and kids and all that. And there's something about him that's like very effeminate. I'm an avid watcher of his show, and this is not to diss him or to put negative coverage on him, but like, yeah, man, the guy's a little effeminate. He has the gay wrist, the little gay wrist. Sometimes he throws up. You're like, hey, there's the gay wrist. There's the gay wrist. And I always think there's something to like, if you are, a man who like has to really boast about his heterosexuality, there's something kind of amiss there. Just in basic, look, if you're a masculine man, you shouldn't have to like prove yourself. It's like the guy who's a badass. He doesn't go around telling people he's a badass. He's just a badass. I think it's kind of similar with a lot of these guys who, who are more effeminate and don't really like to admit it, or possibly closeted homosexuals. And then to compensate for that, they're going to be like, oh, but I'm not gay. Yeah, I didn't really have any specific clips of Dave being gay, but watch one of his podcasts. Okay, Douglas Murray. We're going to put him in S tier. Not necessarily because he super presents as a gay man. Like if I were to be honest, I would probably put him like in B tier. Well, I guess the fact that he says that he's gay would probably put him in A tier. But we're gonna put him in S tier because of this exchange with the person we put up previously, Dave Smith. The "You've Never Been" famous clip, which let's pull that up and react to it because it's a fun time. Oh, you know what? I didn't do any of these other gay clips. That's okay. We got enough. But yeah, let's watch this.
How many have you been to the crossing?
Relive it.
No,
When were you last there at all?
I've never been.
You've never been.
Never been.
Well, am I not allowed to talk about it now? I've never been to. Have you ever been to Nazi Germany? Are you allowed to have feelings about them?
You can't time travel, but you
Well,
can.
right.
But you can travel.
Okay, but so what? So what's the point? Like,
No,
okay.
I find that
Lots
very...
of people have been there and agree with me, and lots of people have been there and agree with you.
Yeah, but
so I
if
don't
you're
know
going
what
to
the.
spend a year and a half talking about a place, you should at least do the courtesy of visiting it.
All right. I just think this is a non-argument.
You don't
but
think?
Okay. No, I think it's a non-argument.
But if you're an ex,
Well, you have to go and touch the ground. To
no,
be
I
able
think
talk
you have
about
to
it?
see. I think it's a good idea to see stuff, particularly if you
okay.
spend a career talking about something. Yes, I have a journalistic rule of trying never to talk about a country even in passing unless I've been there.
Okay.
Even
It's
in
sort of
passing?
normal. It's a normal.
You have to travel the entire world to talk about anywhere in the world. Like what? Okay.
Thing to do. You're talking about crossing points. And not only have you never been to a crossing point in either Egypt or in Israel, but you've never even been to the region.
Okay. Again, I think this is a non-argument. I don't understand.
No, it's not a non-argument.
Yeah, it is.
It's not a non-argument if you're insisting that you're an expert of some kind, or not claiming you're an expert, but still talking about it, about the provisions going into Gaza or not, if you've never seen any of this going on.
So you're not
That's
allowed to
amazing
speak
to
about
me.
things that you've read about. You can only speak about things that you've seen with your own eyes.
You can talk about what you want, as you're proving. But that is a different matter from spending an awfully long amount of time talking about an issue in a region you haven't even had the courtesy to visit, whilst developing all of these views about it. I mean, now I slightly get an idea of where you're coming from. You've read about this blockade, and so you imagine that that's what it is. I imagine you've read all the people who say that Gaza was a concentration camp. And you probably think that too. Am I right?
I mean, again, it literally a concept.
Yeah, that's, you don't have to play any more of that. Yeah, y'all have seen this. Y'all have seen the clip, but yeah, and it's another thing that's like just so really inaccurate about this, about his worldview on this is like, I don't know how it is anymore. I assume it's the same. The IDF is like a very it still is. A very censorship-based government organization. If you are being paraded around, or not paraded around, but if your tours are being directed by the people who are like conducting the war, it's not going to be in their best interest to like show you the parts of these countries that are really poor, or really, that they've really devastated, right, and really heavily attacked. It's like in North Korea. When you go visit North Korea, they show you very specific parts of it, right? And that's for a reason. It's to maintain their image. So yeah, very gay. Very gay, Douglas Murray. All right, Steven Crowder, we're also going to put him in S tier. Like, holy shit. This guy is, I mean, if there was a tier above S tier, he would belong there. Like, again, like, if he came out of the closet, this wouldn't even be a point to criticize, right? But like, when you're these conservative types who are like so against homosexuality, and then you do 5 different skits where you're dressed as a woman, and you divorce your ex-wife, you're like that video, he's like a complete fucking diva to her. Like, it's natural to ask some questions. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, 100% S tier. And just to remind people, I'm not ranking people based on what I think of them. We're ranking them based on gayness. We have decided this. Of course this is how it opens. Not gay at all, guys. Not gay at all. Look, he's in his natural state. He's in his natural state. He should do this more. No, I'm kidding. He should not do this more. He should not make these videos anymore. He should not do this. And that's all we need to watch that. But like, look, Monty Python did the whole thing dressing up as a woman, and they didn't do that. Okay, there's a way you can dress up as a woman and make it funny. Fucking Tim Dillon did it. Making fun of Meghan McCain. He wasn't this sexual, I'm just saying. There's something a little weird. Okay, and then we got one more clip. So we already played a little bit of Brian Callen earlier with the Joe Rogan stuff, but this was apparently a behind the scenes video that was for a skit that I think never aired. But this is Brian Callen in a cow outfit being spanked by Steven Crowder. Definitely not gay.
Give me that milk. Give me that milk.
This man is so gay. This video apparently made Brian's mom cry, which is, oh my god, it's making me cry right now.
Give me that milk. Give me that milk.
Oh my god. god! He's so gay, and it's fine. It's fine. It's fine, but oh my god! I already saw that video like 3 times before, because I had to find clips and stuff. It still makes me laugh my ass off. It's ridiculous. Okay, Nick Fuentes. We're also gonna put him in S tier. This man's gay as shit, dude. I think the only thing gayer than going on a podcast and saying that, or not, or I should say, the only thing gayer than going in a skit, dressing up as a woman, and presenting it like that is going on a podcast and saying that dating a woman is gay. Which doesn't make a lot of sense at all. Okay, we'll be right back, guys. Okay, sorry, we're back. Don't have pets, guys. Yeah, so definitely an S tier for Nick. Definitely think the man's closet homosexual. There's a couple different things, but let's just do this interview. Or no, we got a couple clips. Let's what? Honestly, fuck the Piers one. That one's kind of. This one I have not seen, so we're gonna react to it together. But this is Nick Fuentes on why dating women is gay.
Nick, why do you think dating women is gay?
Well, here's what I think is gay. It is gay to date women. Here's what's gay about it. What's gay about it is that, you know, when I think about relations between men and women, it's about sex. All of my views about men and women come down to the biological imperative, which is that when a man and woman reach the age of sexual maturity, they want to have sex. According to Catholic sexual morality, the only way to have sex is within marriage. That's what makes it moral. Because to have sex is to have kids. Unless there's something wrong with you. To have sex is to have kids. Kids need a mother and a father that are going to stick together. So the way that you...
So I love how he even like just steamrolls past this, but like this is the easiest counter to that. It's like, okay, what about people that can't have kids? You're telling me that they can never have sex? Well, no. Okay, why? That logically makes sense. Like if you're really going to tell me that the only reason to have sex is to, you know, give birth to children, then why would somebody who can't do that be able to have sex? Oh, well, you know, that's not fair. Okay. No, I mean, I think the thing that makes sex moral is consent. I think that's pretty obvious and pretty clear. Anyways.
Build a stable society is to say the mother and the father are going to have to be together before they have kids and have sex. They're going to have to be made one flesh. They're going to have to, that's their obligation to their children. That's their obligation to God. And so my view of sex and in the United States is people should be getting married younger. Because what they're doing now is they're going out and they're having a lot of hookups or having a lot of casual sex, which I don't think anybody's really, in the end, deeply satisfied with this arrangement. So people reach the age of sexual maturity. They want to have sex. They go out and have lots of sex. And they wait maybe 5, 10, 15 years. They wait until they're in their mid-20s, late 20s, 30s, before when the women are past their prime in looks. They wait for men to really have all their ducks in a row. Then finally, now we want to have kids. And what happens? Well, at that point, the women aren't particularly fertile. Maybe they're only going to have a couple of kids. And also at that point, maybe both of them have had a lot of sexual partners and they've become maybe bitter, cynical, set in their ways. They haven't grown together. It makes it less likely they'll stay together. This is a very dysfunctional situation. And so
Okay, so a couple things with this. I actually don't disagree with him on the hookup culture. Should people be able to do that? Yes, but I mean, I do agree that like ultimately you are going to have a more healthy and health. I don't know about health. Well, probably healthy, but for sure, more happy and fulfilling life if you have sex with fewer people and focus on finding a partner, finding somebody they want to be with, and having a sexual experience with them. Hooking up is there's something about sex where we're getting really gay, guys. There's something about sex that it's a lot better when it's with someone who like understands you sexually, not even in terms of like the emotional part, but also like just the physical aspects of it, right? Like you kind of both know what you like. You're more comfortable like trying different things, etc. Like it's really hard to do that when you're just having sex with a different person every time. Like even if you can gain experience through that, there's this whole element of communication that can be missed with hookup culture. So I agree with that. I was listening to this like pro-natalist podcast, or this podcast of Modern Wisdom that was like kind of the pro-natalist, anti-natalist argument, which I think are kind of just dumb positions. It's like, okay, you're really telling, like, I have a hard time believing that the majority of anti-natalists are like against people having kids. So it's just a dumb like binary. It's just this pro-anti thing that doesn't really actually equate. But I think a lot of times these people who pro having kids, they will overlook the very simple fact that like it can be multifaceted. Like, sure, there is this factor in society where there's this hookup culture that's very real. However, I think more people would be willing to have children if the economy was better. And they always like to overlook this. They always like to say, yeah, well, that's not really what's going on. But I mean, it really is. And also, I think you have to get, like, another thing that they won't contend with is, like, okay, if people just start having kids, with no, not thinking about their situation or how, maybe they're in a low income environment, and bringing kids into that environment is, more than likely going to give your kid a worse quality of life. These are just things that, like, they just don't consider. Like, the only thing that matters is that you have kids. And I don't know, man. I think it's probably better for people, like, if you wait a little bit and then have 1 or 2 kids and you're in a place that's financially stable and you can actually provide for those kids, that's going to be a lot better for everybody than, like, just pumping out 5 kids when you're 19, don't have a job, and have no prospects, and then your kids are just gonna be feeding off the fucking tit of the government, and they're not gonna really have a lot, and then there's more room for abuse, and, like, if it's a single mother, the factor that increases the likelihood of child abuse is, like, introducing a stepfather. It's like a 20, like, it increases the chance of there being abuse by 20. There's so many things that, like, just practically are like, yeah, maybe like just this view of just, like, recklessly having kids, like, maybe that's not really the best thing for everybody. But anyways,
prescription for men and women
we're kind of going off the gay stuff, but let's just roll with it.
Get married a lot younger when they reach that biological age of maturity, and then they're supposed to have kids. Then when the men and women are young and energetic, that's when they're having a big family, and they can take care of a big family because they have energy. And then they grow together. They
have no money. They don't have money.
They mature and grow into adults together, and they're more likely to stay together. The reason that dating is gay is because it's sterile. There's something very sterile about dating. Men are using condoms. What's gayer than using a condom? Preventing your virile seed from impregnating a woman. Not to sound graphic, but, like, that's very gay. It's gay for a woman to be on birth control and, like, denying the creation of life. It's gay for men and women to be not married, but texting each other all day and watching Disney movies and cuddling together and, playing this sort of game throughout college and then into early adulthood. Will they or won't they? Am I going to get married? Maybe we'll live together. I think the whole thing is just deeply unserious and just very kind of juvenile and immature. And I think that it kind of reflects like a arrested development. It's like a stunted growth and maturity. So I think you should
look up what the definition of gay is. Okay. So yeah, I think he's S tier in terms of the gay for sure. Ben Shapiro, we're gonna put him in A tier. Look, we're gonna watch this in a second. We're gonna watch the wet ass pussy video. Oh my god, I said it. But yeah, this is, look, if you having sex with your wife, having had like 3-4 kids or whatever he has, if, like, the whole concept of becoming wet is foreign to that, you might be gay, dude. At the very least, your wife might be gay. Just saying. It's kind of gay. Nick Fuentes says it's kind of gay to, like, use condoms and have sex with other people. It's kind of gay to only have shitty sex with one woman. That's kind of gay. You should have, if you have a wife, you should have good sex. That's my point, people. All right. Yeah, let's watch this.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. Hold up. I said certified freak 7 days a week. Wet ass P word. Make that pullout game weak. Yeah, you effing with some wet ass P word. P word is female genitalia. Bring a bucket
Female
and a
genitalia.
mop for this.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what female genitalia is. When I have sex with my wife, we turn the lights off, so I don't know what female genitalia is. It also feels like I'm fucking a bag of sand. It feels like I'm fucking a bag of sand the 4 times I've had sex to make a kid. That's what it feels like. I'm not gay.
Wet ass P word. Give me everything you got for this wet ass P word. Beat it up N word. Catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I want to ride. I do a Kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P word is wet, come take a dive. It continues along these lines. And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like a lot more vulgar.
A lot.
Talk your S word, bite your lip. Ask for a call while you ride that D word. You really
It
ain't
is,
never gonna.
you know, there is something about this setup where he's like, yeah, this is so dirty and so vile, and then he's like playing the music video right next to him. Like, you didn't need to do that. You didn't do that, dude. He's like watching this like, and like only a gay man would be like, yeah, this isn't counterproductive because I'm not attracted to this. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if you're really gonna like criticize this fucking thing for this, it's, you know, level of sexuality, maybe don't play the video. I don't know, that like, do something that's gonna be triggering in the sense that, like, you know, whatever. Like, yeah, that might not be a great idea, dude. All right.
F him for a thing. He already made his mind up before he came. Now get your boots and your coat for this wet ass P word. Pay my tuition just to kiss me on this wet ass. Right. So this is, guys, this is what feminists fought for.
Yeah.
This is what the feminist movement was all about.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, it's not really about, you know, women being treated as independent, full rounded human beings. It's about wet ass P word. Mm-hmm. And if you say anything differently, it's because you're a misogynist, you see. It gets really vulgar. But I will admit that when I first saw the
really vulgar. Really. No, really.
Lyrics to this song, my first concern as a sympathetic and empathetic human being, my first concern is that these women are describing a
I've never actually seen the video.
serious gynecological condition. And like, I'm serious that these women are suffering from some sort of serious, I mean, a bucket and a mop.
Let's play that back. I missed
this
that.
sounds like is that these women are describing a serious gynecological condition. And like, I'm serious that these women are suffering from some sort of serious, I mean, a bucket and a mop. This sounds like there's something that is going on here that is not biologically normal. And by the way, the song is so unsexy that it frankly sounds like somebody describing what amounts to a serious condition that requires the care of a doctor. So,
I mean, look, have you ever seen porn? Like, that's not fake. That's not fake. Like, even if they're pissing, you can never think of a sexual scenario where it might require a bucket and a mop type of thing.
Fortunately, I know a doctor who is my wife. And so I asked her for her medical diagnosis. And she looked at the lyrics herself. And after being kind of appalled by them, obviously, she had a few sort of indicators here on how she could diagnose the vaginal condition that apparently these women are suffering from. So there are a few sort of giveaways. Here. So first of all, a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P word. So first of all, she had to clarify whether wet ass P word was a description of the P word or whether one of the clinical symptoms here was also diarrhea. But bring a
Wait, what? What? Diarrhea. Okay.
Bucket and a mop. So this suggests that there's an awful lot of, not to be too graphic, but some sort of medical discharge that's happening here. Like a lot too much, right? A lot too much, because that's a symptom of something that is not going great. Apparently, there are signs of prolapse. And I say that because hop on top, I want to ride, I do a Kegel while it's inside. So there's some signs of some actual clinical prolapse, which is a problem. Also, there's some talk about where this person is putting their nose, and there's some talk about smelling. Right? There's a line here about gagging and choking, which suggests that perhaps there's an odor issue here. Also, at some point in here, there's a reference to diabetes about a person who engaged in particular activity and ends up diabetic, which
he's having sex with a bag of sand. Like this is the only the less the times that he can only count on his two hands this man's ever had sex. It's been with a bag of sand. Like I just don't. This just isn't even reality. This just isn't even true. The man who is like the Israel spokesman. I mean, it's not really surprising that he would just, not be able to grapple with the truth. But this is sad, dude. I mean, he's literally fucking a bag of sand. That's the only way that you could think that like a wetness involved with sex.
just a serious pH imbalance. So I asked my wife for a differential diagnosis for the sake of these ladies in case they need to go to the doctor. I mean, like this is a problem. I mean, like if this is real, like there's water pouring out the front doors of this place, and that ain't water, guys. I mean, that's what I'm being told. That ain't water. So the medical here was her differential. Her differential diagnosis, my wife, the doctor, was either these women are suffering from bacterial vaginosis or a yeast infection, or my wife suggested most probably they are suffering from trichomonas. So,
you can like drink a soda and your pH balance can go off, right? Again, he's fucking a bag of sand that he instructs to like shower and scrub for like a half hour down there. If there's no smell associated with sex in his life. This is just sad. I don't even know if this man's gay. He's just asexual. And that's, I mean, look, the man has autism at the ass. Like, yeah, maybe that's how it goes.
Just a bit of medical advice. Put aside the empowerment. I understand how empowering it is for women to sing about the moisture state of their genitals. And I understand that anybody who criticizes this as reductive of female sexuality and or of putting out images of females as over-sexualized in a way that is negative, that puts negative images in men and drives negative images toward women for men, treating them as sex objects. I understand that stuff is out of bounds, right? I mean, if we mention any of that stuff, it's because we're misogynists. I'm a sexist for saying that women are more than just, their wet-ass P-words. But as a sympathetic human being, I just want to make sure these ladies get the care they need. My wife's medical advice is that they go to a gynecologist ASAP and that they do whatever checks are necessary for bacterial vaginosis, yeast infection, or trichomonas.
Oh my God.
Now,
there's something about, I've noticed this before, but like how the man has a microphone next to his laptop, but he also has like a lapel. It's like, okay, what's the point of that? Okay, moving on. Milo, we're gonna put him in S tier. No, yeah, yeah. No, we're gonna put him in A tier because somehow he's still less gay than all the people in S tier, which doesn't make any sense, but it's true. Yeah, Milo, I don't know. Like, there are things I like about him, and there are things I don't. It's like this weird, like, balancing act with Milo. You're like, oh, hey, he actually has some good points. But then, like, the conclusion is abhorrent, and then you're like, oh, okay. I don't know. Honestly, I think this is the last clip I have, of this whole thing. But let's play this is the controversial clip that occurred. He admitted to being taken advantage of as a child, by a pedophile, obviously. Excuse me, and seemed to not really have anything negative about it. It's been a while since I've seen this clip, so
Unlucky, you didn't get that taste of. No, I said,
Let's
like I
play
said earlier, if it weren't for Father Michael, I would have given far less good head. I mean,
There was a real Father Michael?
So much less. You know, he's going to get killed now. But
Who was Father Michael?
I'm not. No, I bet.
Was a real dude?
I shouldn't
Made you suck his dick for real?
Don't make me. I was quite enthusiastic about it. I fucked my English teacher too. But I
How
probably
old
shouldn't
was
say
he
that
at the time?
I don't know. He was quite young, quite hot.
Really?
Yeah.
And so that's where it all started with Father Michael.
No.
Was that post the tranny?
Yeah, it was post. So I
thing?
wasn't I wasn't
Drag
abused
queen?
as a child or anything like that.
So
It was quite a.
you already had the 5-some, and you're like, "This is all wrong. I need to talk to Father Michael." He's like, "Suck my dick and shut the fuck up." And you're like, "Religion is
You
awesome."
see, I really had no hope, did I? I was never going to end well.
Well, it seems like you kept stumbling into dicks. I mean,
I just
don't
kept
know.
falling on them through life.
I don't know what would have happened if a heterosexual
The
man
last
like me
30 years, I've just been falling on dicks.
was in the same circumstances as you early on. I mean, obviously things would have went very different. So I'm not sure if I buy the not
You'd
born
go
this
down.
way.
You'd go down great in a gay club.
Go down?
Well, I mean, you know, you'd
How
go down. You'd
dare
go down.
you.
We have.
How
Is that a British
dare you.
expression? You go down well.
No,
I don't
pretty-
mean oral
pretty
sex.
much, yeah,
but-
yeah,
So
yeah.
go down well means you would you'd be popular. You'd
Go
get
down
attention.
well would be like the way you would describe a meal or a drink.
Oh,
you
like
know?
it goes down well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, we
like taking the piss.
Yeah,
it took
so-
me a while to get what the hell.
right.
that
Like,
meant.
do you want a cup of my? Yeah. Which again is another thing gay people seem disproportionately into.
They're into peeing on each other.
Well, there seems to be.
It's all
there seems to
sin.
be water sports.
It's all
Well, this
decadence.
is it. You
It's
see,
all against the
this
Lord.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People are only gay to be transgressive.
Why
They
don't you just
choose
pray
to
the
be
gay away,
gay to be
Milo?
naughty.
How come you're not praying the gay
They
away?
choose to be gay to be
It
naughty.
seems like you have all
and now
the
being
right
a
components
homosexual
in place.
I know.
to pray the
I
gay
know.
away.
I just can't
full belief
tear
and
myself
respect
away
for Christian
from the dick.
values.
Can't tear myself away
Come
from the
on.
dick. And I've tried.
Maybe as you get older,
Maybe
and
I
your
should be
sex
celibate or
drive
something.
dries up a
I
little
always
bit.
think I would have made a good priest. Do you think I'd make a good priest? I think I'd make a good priest.
Well, you make a good priest if you think the guy that made you suck his dick was a good priest. That kind of good
He was
priest.
a great priest. Honestly, like he was
He was good other than that?
I've never had a better singing tutor. He was great.
Singing teacher.
He got notes out of me I didn't even know I could produce.
Well, he worked your plumbing.
Shattering the chandeliers, kind of.
But was he good outside of what he did? Like, was he a good religious scholar? Was he a good
I
teacher?
think he was just a parish priest. I mean, I
Just
really
a fucking creep getting his dick sucked then.
He's gonna get lynched now.
How's he gonna get lynched? Do people know who he is?
I don't think so.
What's his name?
Well, I'm not saying you anymore.
Well, how old were you at the time?
Just
You were a little kid and he was
stop
like what?
it. You're trying to.
Was he in
you're
his
trying
20s or
See,
30s?
Yet another feminist strategy that you have adopted in addition to your language
What?
policing.
Trying to out pedophiles?
No, trying to go on this.
You were the
witch,
one who was
this witch
anti-pedophile
hunt.
earlier.
I told you it wasn't the pedophilia. I was
Well,
after I
certainly
lost my
is.
virginity. I was
How
in
old
my
were you?
teens.
Oh,
I was in
give
my
me a
teens.
break. 14.
I was in my teens.
You said
Something
you were
like
14.
something like that.
That's what you
I
said.
was in my-
14
I
is
was in my
pedophilia, buddy.
teens.
I don't know how they rocket and merry old England.
I was in my teens.
Over
I mean,
here in my country, and
you're saying
fucking
you've
where
never,
you are right now,
You've never
America.
seen a 15-year-old girl at any point in your life, however old you were. You've never seen a 15-year-old girl you thought was hot.
Yeah, when I was 15.
No, when
Thought
you
they
were
were hot as
25. When you were 25.
I'm not retarded, dude.
When you were 25, when you were 30, you will have seen
No.
girls about 15 you thought were hot.
No,
Of
I
course
thought they
you
were little
did.
kids.
No, you didn't.
I thought,
Don't
damn,
talk
she's
bullshit.
gonna be hot, but I didn't want to fuck her.
Bullshit. Like
Not bullshit at all.
Look,
You can't tell me what I was born into.
I think if you're 14...
Born like this.
You were born this way. You were born a dreary nitpicker.
No, you're trying to make it so I'm a fucking creeper like you. No, I'm not into 14-year-olds. How dare you, sir? No.
I'm not into 14-year-olds.
Well, that
Don't
fucking
put this
guy
on
that
me.
you said's a great guy. He was into 14-year-olds.
Fantastic. It was
Yeah, he's a
fantastic.
terrible person.
No.
He certainly was.
I was a very mature 14-year-old.
Yeah. Well, in your case, he got it right. You got the right guy to molest.
It wasn't molestation.
That's absolutely
It
molestation.
wasn't molestation. It was perfectly consensual.
I don't think it is when they're 14.
When I was 14, trust me, I was the predator.
Oh.
I was the predator.
You
at
were the
14.
predator. You
I
were
was
chasing after the
I was
priest?
the
He was
instigator.
trying to stay
I
close to
was
God?
chasing everybody. I was aggressively seeking out sexual company of adults because I knew it would horrify people, because I wanted sort of power over them. It was my way of rebelling. My way of rebelling. I was the predator at 14, let me tell you.
Do you think that's what's going on with that guy who directed X-Men? But
Yeah, we can just stop it there, honestly. Yeah, this is kind of disgusting. Like, I hate to be that I hate to be that person, but it's sad. I mean, and he has later in life retracted this and apologized and said that he doesn't feel like this anymore. But you know, whether or not you were a child, wanting sexual experiences, it's still up to the adult to be the adult and say, like, no, this is not something that I'm going to give to you. I'm not going to take advantage of you for this. If a 14-year-old walks into a liquor store and they want a bottle of liquor and you sell it to them, that's not the 14-year-old's fault. That's your fault for, giving a 14-year-old a bottle of liquor. Children can't consent. They just can't. Milo wasn't able to consent at the time that this happened. And the priest who took advantage of him certainly went past that consent. And, I don't want to make this a whole religion thing, but this does show again what the end result of religion is. It's people in power taking advantage of people. And then even worse than that, these people who are taken advantage of can't even see that they were taken advantage of. It's fucking insane. Okay, Timmy D. We're gonna put him in C tier. Again, this is in terms of how gay they are. I don't think he's that gay. I think he is gay. I think he doesn't like women, but he's just not really that gay. This image of him, the video where he's Meghan McCain, that's probably the gayest thing about him. Not that gay. He's hilarious though. I fuck with him. I think he has some really great podcasting and political stuff that he does, but not gay. I don't think I think the Meghan McCain video was the gayest thing I've ever seen him do. He's kind of just like a normal guy. He seems, there are those gay people who are gay, but they're not actually getting any action. They're just they're literally a straight man. They're literally a straight single man. The only difference is the type of porn they're watching. Instead of watching regular porn, you're going home and watching gay porn. That's the only distinction between the Tim Dillon gay guy and the flamboyant gay, the Milo Yiannopoulos gay. That's the only difference. Okay, Glenn Greenwald. We're gonna put him in S tier. I mean, he had the sex tape. Okay, he had the sex tape. Let's take another look at that. Let's take another look at that image. Let's get up real close. Oh yeah, look at that. It's fine. It's fine. He can do that. He can do that. Everything's consensual. He can do that. He's not a sick person. He can do that. It's amazing he still has a career after this, but he can do that. Okay, Don Lemon. Again, I gotta put him in C tier. Doesn't really appear actually no, I'll put him in B tier. He's about the same level of Dave Smith, where he just the mannerisms are the same. He's not a very flamboyant man. He's one of those guys where it's you maybe, but then he does. He's like, oh, that I didn't really see it, but I can kind of see it now. That's kind of gay Don Lemon is. Okay. I don't know. I already talked about Don Lemon on the last one, so we won't touch upon him too much. But yeah, I think he's a snake. Fuck him. Michael Jackson, definitely S tier for sure. I don't know what is more gay than wanting to have sex with little boys. Also just a sick fuck, I've met people who still are ride and die Michael Jackson people. They just deny all the shit. And it's the thing with Trump, right? I could understand there being a certain amount of people who are kind of just hopping on bandwagon and being okay, all these people are seeking reparations, or for lack of a better term, reparations for what was done to them. So I'm going to hop in this train, fake my story, and get some money out of the thing. Like, yeah, the state creates that incentive. But, like, when you have, like, 90 victims, it's kind of hard to really, like, it's really hard to say, like, yeah, they are, every single one of those people are doing that. It's difficult. You could say a percentage of them are, but, like, yeah, when you have, like, over 10 people who are coming out and saying, like, yeah, I was abused in this way, it's kind of, you know, and then, you know, I know the whole thing with Macaulay Culkin denied it. You gotta, like, if you're gonna do this smart, you're not gonna do it with everyone, right? You're not gonna have sex with the famous kid, because that shit's gonna come out. No, he's gonna be like the, you know, he's gonna be like the guy who has the chick that, you know, he dances around, that everyone knows. And it's kind of just a way to signal, like, yeah, I'm like this, but he's not actually going to do anything. Right? That's not a very good analogy, but you know what I'm saying. I feel like Macaulay Culkin was like the kid that he paraded around that was kind of a signal, but he didn't do anything with him because that would have been game over, right? Okay. Harvey Milk, we're going to put him in... No, put him in A tier. I mean, he also fucked kids, but... Again, like, not super feminine. Not a super effeminate gay, but... He did... And, you know, kind of a piece of shit. Like, I don't know. People like always praise him for being like this figure in the gay community and blah blah blah, and I can understand that, but it's really hard to overlook the fact that he was a kid fucker. Just saying, he was a kid fucker. That means something. One of the kid, I don't know if I actually don't know if it was a kid, if it was a minor, but I mean, you saw the movie. One of his boyfriends hung himself, so you know I don't know. Okay, Pete Buttigieg, we're gonna put him in. You know, we're gonna put him in D tier. He is one of those gays that, like, you're shocked. You're like, wow, this guy's gay. Like, the only reason you would, like, this photo is probably the most effeminate photo I've ever seen of him. Like, there's nothing about him as gay. He's a straight white guy, and then he poses with a dude that's his husband. That's the only thing about him that's gay. And the difference between him and Tim Dillon is he didn't wear a dress. He is Democrats, and maybe he deserves a C tier. But nobody's in D tier, okay? I gotta put somebody in D tier, all right? Everybody here is gay, all right? You gotta work with me a little bit here. Okay, Jeffrey Dahmer. We're gonna put him in A tier. I haven't seen that much footage of him. Definitely gay, though. The evidence is there. I mean, I don't know what, like, taking body parts of men and putting them in jars and putting them in your fridge. It's kind of gay. That sounded bad. Let me put this a different way. Obsessing over body parts from men is pretty gay. It's a better way to put that. Okay, Sam Smith, S tier for sure. I mean, look at this picture. Look at this picture. Very gay. Has some decent music. Kind of annoying as a person. Very gay. All right, we're getting close here. Rachel Maddow. We're gonna put her in B tier. We'll put her in A tier. A tier for Rachel. No. Let's put her back in B tier. Because again, like, not someone who appears like Ellen DeGeneres, who's next. She's kind of one of those lesbians who, like, has to really make it clear that she's a lesbian. Like, she has the haircut, but even that's not enough because there are plenty of straight women that have that haircut, right? Like, she really has to, like, go out of her way to, like, remind everybody, yeah, I'm a lesbian. Which is fine. Obviously not a fan of Rachel Maddow. If you guys if you weren't able to guess what my position on Rachel Maddow is, That is my position. Okay. Ellen DeGeneres, we're going to put her in the same tier for the same reason. Kind of a cunt. Just a little bit. A little bit of a cunt. And it's not because she's gay or a lesbian or it's not because of that. She's just a cunt. What more can you say about that? Okay. Elliot, I'm gonna put her in D tier, honestly. Or him. Oh god. Whoops. Wait, where's damn it. I was gonna put fucking Caitlyn Jenner in here, and it didn't love for some reason. Okay, well, next time I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I really wonder how much of it is like a genuine feeling about being that, or if it's like a publicity stunt, and then like you're in that elite thing, and then it's you have yes people around you, and they're just gonna give you the feedback loop, and then it's like, okay, well, yeah, of course I'm like this. I guess here, let me just give my take on the whole transgender thing. Like, look, like not trying to be homophobic. I do believe that there is a certain percent of the population who truly feels like this. Who truly feels like they're born in the wrong body. They feel like that they should be the other sex, even though there's something kind of precarious about that, because it's like, okay, well, I mean, like I could never know what it's like to be a woman, right? I could imagine in my mind, I could like paint, I could like notice patterns and be like, oh, this is probably what it's like to be a woman, but I will never truly know that because I'm not. And so there's something kind of dubious in like the whole like, oh, I feel like I'm the other sex, but it's like, well, you don't really know what the other you don't truly know what the other sex feels like, so it's kind of hard to say that. It's like, like I like if I were to be like, I think I'm a black man, it's like, oh, well, you're not. You never will be. And I feel like there's something kind of similar, but regardless, I mean, I'm sure there are people who feel like that. However, I do feel like there's something to be said for the trend of transgenderism. Like, I do believe Pride is a cult. It is in a lot of ways very similar to religion, where there's this hardcore belief that cannot be scrutinized, is illogical, and when presented with facts and logic, they will just ignore it. And and it's separate from like, I have no problem. Like, I don't even have a problem with transgenderism. I'm critical of the movement. I'm critical of, when we have like 1,000% increase in people saying they're trans. Like, I'm going to criticize that. I don't know how genuine that is. I don't have a problem with people being homosexual. But that's a lot separate from like supporting a cult, supporting Pride. Like, I think it's okay to say, hey, I have nothing against you being gay or homosexual or you being trans. I don't subscribe to this group. And we really seem to live in a world where, like, if you think that's okay, you have to support Pride. And it's kind of, I think the whole thing is very ego-driven. Like, I think people who, like, really embrace this whole Pride thing, like, are truly, like, self-centered people. Like, they really seem like all about themselves. And I don't know. I think there's something really kind of precarious about that. At the very least, it's a little precarious. Like, I don't really know if that's a great way to live. Okay, P. Diddy. We're gonna put him in C tier. Another example of someone who doesn't really present. I mean, who didn't present for a long time. Probably still doesn't present as a gay man. But we know what we know, right? That's I think he's about the level of Tim Dillon. I think that's a fair assessment. Okay. Kanye, yay. We're gonna put him in C as well. No, he doesn't present gay, but like I was saying before with this like macho masculine thing, there's something about like the closet homosexual that like parades certain women around him to make him appear hetero, but secretly has a little bit of gayness to him. Yeah, man, I think if your cousin sucks your dick, that's kind of gay. I don't think you can really get away with saying, "Hey, my cousin sucked my dick, but I'm not gay." There's at least a smidge. At least at one point there was at least a smidge, right? It was kind of there. Excuse me. Okay, Neil Patrick Harris, we'll put him in B. I think he's kind of the same level as the rest. Like, doesn't really present as gay, but there's kind of like that level where it's like, maybe he could be, and then it's like, okay, well, shit, he is. Look at him. He's posing next to his man and his adopted kids, and fuck. Sam Mendes we'll skip because I don't really know anything about him. Caleb Heron. We'll put him in A. I think he's at about that level. He's about at that level where it's like, yeah, he is. I will say he is probably like the only leftist influencer that I actually think is funny, or like stand-up comedian that I actually think is funny. And even sometimes it's a little annoying, but like he is genuinely funny. He is of that type of person and is genuinely funny. And it's kind of weird. He's like a gayer Tim Dillon. He's like a gayer and more woke Tim Dillon. And then like you see these like people who are fans of him that like should not be fans of him. But it's like they got the signal. It's like, okay, this guy's cool. This guy's okay. But I think he's genuinely funny and very clearly gay. Even before I knew he was gay, I'm like, oh, he's gay for sure. Chapel Roan, we're gonna put her in C. Like, granted, I haven't seen that many interviews with her, but like, you wouldn't really know unless like you saw her or listened to her music, that she is that way. I mean, the one interview I saw, and I guess I talked about this last time, so I won't rehash it too much, but the interview where she like refused to condone her or refused to shit on her uncle who was like a MAGA guy, right? Like you watch that interview, she doesn't really appear like a homosexual type. It's a little harder to tell the women, I guess, but like she doesn't really like present that way. She's just kind of like a regular, she's a regular person and she likes women, and that's totally fine, man. I fuck with her music. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up. I know I got an email in the middle of this saying that YouTube copyrighted it. Fucking cunts. So I might have to appeal that or re-upload it. I don't know what we'll do.